What's up, Crew Excellence? It is your boy, Justin Strickland, the host of the Ladder Podcast, and I'm back with another banger, fire leadership content just for you. Hey, today I'm going to talk about 5 forms of power and how to interact with leadership, and I want you to stay until the end because I'm going to have a gem for you, okay? So make sure you make it through the whole video. It's all going to be dope, but I want you to make sure you make it to the end, especially because I got something I'm going to drop on you that might change your leadership instantly today, okay? All right, now let's do some housekeeping. Shout out to everybody who watched the pod with Big Cam I Am. If you haven't seen it yet, pause this one, go watch it. It's super dope. And shout out to everybody who's just been rocking with us so far. I'm here today grateful for the opportunity to be doing this. I know that you can spend your time however you want to on the internet, on Beyonce's internet, right? But you hang out with me sometimes, and I appreciate that. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, there's a lot of people, I think it's about 60% of people watch my videos don't subscribe. And so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like, the content is dope, and it's free, right? Subscribe don't cost you nothing. And turn your noties on. We drop videos every Saturday at least, and we have shorts throughout the week, and we might have some new stuff coming. So just hit the button, hit the bell, you know what I'm saying, and make sure that you are locked in with us moving forward. Now, to get to this episode, shout out to my boy Damo. He was on here last year around this time. He watches the vids, and he oftentimes he has some dope stuff to say about them. And I talked about the NIL video a couple weeks ago, and he sent me a message. He was like, "Hey, bro, this reminds me of the 5 forms of power." I was like, "I don't know what that is." He was like, "Hey," so he sent me the image. I'm like, "Dope," talking about it on the pod. So shout out to Damo for inspiring this episode. It's always nice when I don't have to create the content from scratch. And so we're gonna talk about the 5 forms of power. 5 forms of power, and what this is the 5 ways that people have power over someone else, and the 5 ways they can leverage it and use it. And so I'm gonna tell you each form, so it's 5 of them, and I'm gonna give some examples of positions and situations where that power is acted upon. Okay, so first form of power is legitimate. So the first form of power is legitimate, and this is called because I say so power. And what this power looks like is someone who is legitimately in a role of authority or power by title, by relationship. And so they get to execute their power because they said so. And so for the first, obviously this makes us think of our parents, right? Our parents have because I say so power. You live in their house, you eat their food, you are cooled by their air and heated by their heat. And so they get to do things because you have to do things sometimes because they say so. It doesn't necessarily mean you agree, your agreement isn't necessary for this power to work, right? It's because I say so, you do it. So parents have this power. Another group of people that have this power in this country is police officers. And so a lot of times police officers execute this power because they're in positions of authority. So police officers can tell you to get out the car without explaining why. They can tell you to leave an area without explaining why. So they often have because I say so power. Now, I use parents and police officers because I say so power can be both positive and negative, right? We know some people who are bad parents. Some of them are your friends, and some of you are watching. But you don't have to stay a bad parent. Keep watching. We're going to help you, okay? But we also know some great parents that when they say something, their kids should do it because they said so. They shouldn't have to explain, right? Same thing with some police officers. I know some good police officers who are actually trying to protect people. And so if they tell you to do something, you should do it because they're looking out for you. But I also have witnessed, and I think we've experienced bad policing where they use their because I say so power in negative ways that harm communities and harm individuals. And so this power is I'm not saying this is not a viable power structure, right? Legitimate power exists and it should exist. But leadership comes in with how we execute it. And so the excellent leaders execute legitimate power well. And so they have because I say so power, and they use it to impact those that are serving underneath them positively. Okay. Number 2 is rewards. So reward power is because I can make it worth your while. And so I have power because I can make it worth your while. So first thing that came up to me was like our jobs, right? Like we go to work And our jobs have power over our time and our schedule because they pay us, because they can make it worth our while, right? And so I get up and I go to this meeting, or I get up and I'm go to this school, or I'm in this community event because I get paid. Right? I have a reward for it. As believers, we live a certain way as Christians because the Bible says we have a reward in heaven, right? We have a crown that we run for, we race for, and that we want to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Well done. And so there's a reward attached to the power that is exhibited or executed, right? And so jobs is an example. A lot of times family works like this. I don't know if it should or it shouldn't, but a lot of family stuff be transactional, right? Like, it's like, hey, I need a favor from you, and then and I'll owe you. I was like, all right, bet, I'll take you to work, I'm saying, this week, and you're going to give me gas money, right? Or if I come pick you up out of jail, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? And then when I call you, you better come get me. And so sometimes it's transactional. I was reading this and thinking about this as a transactional power, where it's like, because I can give you something, you listen or you submit because there's a reward attached to it. Okay. The next one, the third one, this number 3, this is coercive power. So this is similar to rewards, but the opposite. So rewards is I have power because I can make your life better. Coercive is I have power because I can make your life worse. And so this is like, the first thing that came up to me was like, a spouse, and this is like toxic. So, but I'm not saying this is how it should work, but there are some men and women who are like, hey, if you don't do this for me, we're not having none of that sex, none of that. So that's over with. Your life's gonna be bad if you don't do this for me. That's coercive power. Another example is like correction officers. I think about how they run prisons and how prisoners submit to CO. A lot of times it's because if you don't do what the CO say, he gonna make your life worse. Like, he gonna put you in the hole. He gonna make sure your commissary, he gonna take away your calls. Like, there's a lot of power that correctional officers have that's only based on their ability to make your life worse. They can't necessarily make your life better. They're not gonna get you out, but they can make your life worse. And because of that, they have power. And then the last thing is like coaches. I've coached basketball for 13 years now, which is crazy. I'm getting old. But a lot of times, like, I don't argue with players. I never have. That's never been the way I coach, because I can make your life worse. I can just put you on the bench. Like, you think you so cool? You think you can play? Everybody that came to see you, sit down. All right. Like, so I'm not like, there's some things I'm asking for you. And the reason that you should do it is because you want to play. You don't want to sit on the bench, or at practice because you don't want to run. So you gonna run the set I called. You gonna box out. You gonna rotate on defense because you don't want to run. Like, I can make today really bad, and so that kind of power exists. And I mean, I think, and this is the thing about all 5 forms of power. I don't think one of them is better than the other. I think, well, there is one that's better than the other, but I think most of them are similar. It just depends on when they're used and how they're used. Because as a coach, when I make you run, this is ultimately will benefit the team, right? Like, if I'm asking us to execute at a high level, we're not meeting those expectations. The punishments that I dole out is ultimately for our team to execute better, right? And so it's not necessarily a bad thing for my coercive power. Now, as a spouse, if I'm like, hey, I'm withholding, that's not okay, right? And so I think all these 4 forms of power can be used positively and negatively. It just depends on who's executing them and how they're being used, right? All right, so the fourth one, number 4, is expert power. So expert power is because I know better than you. And so this power is like, think about like your doctor, right? When you go to the doctor, you listen to their diagnosis, you listen to how they read your charts, you listen to how they read your x-rays, because they know better than you. They went to school, they studied, they've written papers, they've done research. So because they know better than you, you submit to their power, you submit to their leadership. Another one is teachers, right? When you go to a class and a teacher's teaching a class, you subconsciously expect them to be an expert. And so you submit to their power. You submit to the way they run their class, the way they teach, the way they schedule their assignment, because you trust their expertise. And then the last one, like right now, what's been interesting, I was just talking to Nate about this before the pod, is podcasters have kind of slid into this expert field now too. And and I mean, I'm one of them, right? Like I am a leadership expert, and so I'm sharing information about leadership that a lot of people listen to, and they listen to it because I have a podcast, right? Because I have a platform, they assume that I'm an expert, and they submit their opinions or things like that to the things I'm saying, and so. What I always say, and even on the pod, is like, man, go do your own research. Like, don't just take what I say and blindly apply it. Like, take what I say with a grain of salt, like, and apply it in your life and see the results, right? Or do further research. If I quote someone or reference someone, go read the book, go listen to the video, like, and make sure that you agree with my conclusion and with my application. Because what'll happen a lot of times with experts, and this is the positive form of power with experts, is like you get to learn a lot by submitting to them, right? Like you get knowledge and wisdom and those kind of things that you wouldn't get otherwise if you didn't submit to the expert. But the negative is sometimes they can be wrong, right? Like, and if they're wrong, but you don't fact check them, now you're both wrong. Okay. And y'all both saying it with your chest, and now it's just two wrong people. And so, I think my thing is like, I as a educator, as someone who loves learning, I'm often in this kind of power sequence with teachers or with experts. And so, it's not a bad one. It's just one that you have to know, if this is what you're in, how do you navigate it so that you can leverage it to the best of your ability, right? All right. Now, the last form of power, this is the one I think is the best. I think the other four, like I said, have positive and negative. This is one I think is actually just all positive, right? And this is referent power. And what that is this is because you can trust me. So this is power that's earned through consistent action, right? And so one of the biggest things, I study podcasting and creating and all those kind of things. One of the biggest things that creators will say, podcasters will say, is you have to get your audience to trust that your content is coming, right? Like if you comes once a month, once a year, once a week, your audience has to trust on this day or at this time, you're going to release something. Or they have to trust that whenever you do release something, it is of high quality and high value for them. And so there are some channels, like the one that came to mind was like RDC World. They don't necessarily have a consistent upload schedule, but you know when they drop something, you can trust what kind of content it is, right? You know it's going to be comedy. You know it's going to be something that you can relate to if you've been following them. And so that's something that you build over time. This is not something that happens like legitimate power happens right away. You are born, they have power. Same thing with like coercive power. Like I can punish you right away. I can reward you right away with reward power. But like referent power happens over time. It's something that is built between individuals, something that's built between corporations or between organizations or teams. It's interpersonal, and it's something that only can be developed when my words and my behavior match, right? Like you can't have referent power if you say something and do something different. You can only have legitimate referent power if you say and do the same, they align. And so this is my favorite type of power to execute as a leader. And this is my favorite type of power to submit to, is because I can trust it. I know that it ultimately has my best interest at heart, or you ultimately know I have your best interest at heart. And because of that, I'm able to operate with a freedom within this power dynamic. Like I don't have to worry about you trying to take advantage of me. I don't have to worry about you trying to get over on me or you trying to use me. Like my only concern is, well, am I understanding clearly what you're asking? And vice versa. Like if I've earned, like I have some relationships that I've earned referent power in, they can trust that when I say something, it's for their benefit. They can trust that when I say something, I believe this to be the best course or the best way to go about it, right? And so those are the 5 forms of power. And if you stay till the end, I want to talk about how you use all 5 to be the best leader possible. And so as leaders, right, we want to be able to leverage legitimate, reward, coercive, expert, and referent power simultaneously. And you're like, whoa, that sounds like a lot of power. Yes, but it is necessary if we want to impact world change, if we want to impact global systems, we want to impact organizational tradition, we have to be able to leverage all of these power structures. And so legitimate power, we have to have a position of power within an organization. And I don't mean like you got to be the boss or the boss's boss. I mean, your role, your title has to give you power. It has to give you legitimate authority over this content or this subject or this rule. Like, you have to have legitimate power. We have to be able to reward. Like, you don't want to lead people and they never get nothing out of it. Right? Like, one of the biggest rewards is monetary. If you starting a company, make sure your people get paid. Right? Like, if you are offering change within an organization, make sure it benefits the bottom line or it benefits the culture. Like, there should be a reward attached to what you're doing, right? Even if it's a long-term reward, like, hey, for 2-3 years, it's going to be rough. But on the other side of that, we're going to get this, and this. Like, people have to connect your power to something that benefits them. And then coercive. I think this is often viewed negatively, but one of the things you can say is like, if we don't make change, this is what's going to happen. Right. And so I'm leveraging my coercive power to say, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, this is what's going to happen. And so I do this all the time when I'm talking to athletes and I'm like, hey, I'm telling you to work out this way, to stretch this way, to do this many reps, because if you don't, you're not going to be a college athlete. If you don't, you're not going to have a chance as a professional athlete. Like, if you don't, you might not make your high school team. And so I'm leveraging coercive power, something with negative effects. Like, this is going to make your life worse because I know that it will. And so we can leverage those things as a leader. And then experts, we have to become experts in something, right? Do the work. Do the research, spend the time reading, spend the time listening to podcasts, listening to other experts talk, and do the experiential work to become an expert in something, right? Because it is through your lived experience and your expertise that people can trust your power and submit to the things you're trying to change and do, right? And then the last one is, I already talked about referent power. Build relationships. Like, don't be fugazi, don't be iffy, like, don't do that. Don't be fickle. I was talking about the other day. It's like, yesterday I was talking to my homie. I'm like, people are just fickle, right? And so if you're not, that makes you different than every other person they're encountering. And so as a leader, being consistent, being stable, being relational, impacts your ability to lead others. And so I hope you stayed till the end. I hope you've learned something today. Let me know what form of power you think you encounter most. So is it legitimate power? Is it reward? Is it coercive? Is it expert? Is it referent? Like, which power dynamic do you feel like you find yourself in the most? And which one would you like to be in the most? All right. So drop those comments. Share with somebody. And man, I'm gonna see you next week. It's always an honor and privilege to hang out with y'all. Cause like I said at the beginning, man, y'all could be anywhere. Right? But you hang out with me for just a few minutes and I am grateful. Don't forget, if you want to watch full interviews, if you want to be part of our private group, join Crew Excellence. All right. Join it. All right. It's $15 a month. And it just supports what we're doing here. It allows us to bring in guests and experts in the field. Allow me to pay Nate, you know what I'm saying? Because Nate does a great job, right? And so just go, hey, it's pinned. Go sign up today. It's very easy to sign up. And hopefully I'll see you on the other side, man. It's some dope stuff in that. All right. Till next time, man. Honor and privilege. It's your boy, Justin Strickland, your favorite Crew Excellence member. And I'm out, man. Peace.